Here comes Stuart Varney, anchor of Varney and Company on Fox Business Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Hey, Stuart. Listen, this goes beyond politics. It goes beyond party. It goes beyond ideology. This is a very scary thing. Apparently, Russia has instituted a cyber attack against American banks and financial institutions. Many people suggesting this is in retaliation to the sanctions that President Obama and other EU nations have put on Russia because of the Crimean situation. How serious is this?
Oh, very serious. For a start, it was a very sophisticated attack. The hackers penetrated layer after layer after layer of security to get through and steal individual account, checking account, and saving account information. That kind of sophistication implies that it was government involvement, Russian government involvement.
Wow.
Now, there's two kinds of ways of looking at this. A foreign government can go after you to disrupt your economy. The Russians did that when I think it was Estonia in 2007. It was a pure disruption play. This appears to be different. This appears to be a sophisticated hack attack to say, hey, look, we can do this. Watch out. You pursue these sanctions, and look what can happen. That's a very serious implied threat, and I think that's what's going on now, although there's no confirmation of that from any side.
Is there any evidence that American account holders have lost money or had something stolen from them because of this, or are we just seeing that they know how to do it and they could do more?
From this particular attack, no. J.P. Morgan says that they have seen no rise in fraud since this hack attack earlier this month. So as a direct result of this attack, no, it doesn't appear that anybody has lost money from their account. Other attacks, however, and you hear this anecdotally, people have had their IDs cleaned out and their accounts cleaned out. That has happened in the past. But this time around, no action taken, offensive action thus far taken by the hackers.
Do we know the other banks involved? I see J.P. Morgan. Aren't there some others too?
J.P. Morgan, Chase, and what are described as at least 4 others, unnamed.
Hey, Stuart, Ben Bernanke is in the news. He, of course, the former Federal Reserve chairman, and he's saying now in a story out of the Wall Street Journal that the financial crisis of 2008, September and October, we all remember that financial crisis. He says now that was worse than the Great Depression of the 20s. Is he overstating the case?
Well, I would say it was different from the Great Depression. What we saw in September of 2008, in my opinion, was an old-fashioned financial panic, the likes of which we'd not seen in 100 years. That's different from the market crash and the subsequent depression of the 1929 and 1930s. I think Ben Bernanke is subtly taking some credit for fixing the worst crisis in history, in modern history. And frankly, Larry, I think he deserves some credit. We have stabilized the situation. Now, a lot of people don't agree with printing $4 trillion worth of money. Yeah. They don't agree with rescuing banks and rescuing insurance companies and stepping in. Okay, I understand that. But the net result is we have stabilized the financial system to a degree. And if we're coming out of the worst financial crisis in 100 years, and the worst financial panic in 100 years, I think Bernanke should take some credit, quite frankly.
But is he sort of giving himself more credit, though, by saying that it was worse than the Great Depression, and yes, if he deserves some credit for helping us out of that, by overstating how bad it was, he's giving himself, his own special pat on the back.
It is an extra pat on the back, and he's giving it to himself, yes.
All right.
But I'm making a separate judgment that he deserves some credit.
Sure.
Well, and also the recovery has been a little bit, flat in some ways.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So how much credit can he really take? The employment rate isn't great for a lot of people still.
Well, I don't think he should try to take credit for stabilizing the economy. I think he should take credit for stabilizing the financial system.
Right, for saving the, yeah.
But to get to your point there, Susan, I mean, this economy really is. If I'm coming on too strong here, tell me. I think it's pathetic. We had the CBO yesterday saying that this year, calendar year, 2014, would have a growth rate of 1.5%.
Right. That's nothing.
6 years into a recovery, that's all we've got.
It's like Japan.
Oh, really? This is terrible. If we go back to the Reagan years, where he cut taxes and got the economy going, we were seeing 4, 5, 6% rates of growth over an extended period of time. And look what we've got now.
Well, and to that end, and cutting taxes, Burger King has taken it upon themselves to sort of give themselves a corporate tax break by moving their world headquarters up to Canada after their purchase of Tim Hortons is complete. A lot of people are angry about that because they think, listen, you're an American company. If you don't like the high taxes here, listen, you should still stay in the country and deal with it.
What gets me, however, is the role of Warren Buffett.
Yes.
Warren Buffett is helping finance Burger King's move to a low-tax environment. This is the man who supported President Obama on raising taxes. He's the man who wants the rich to pay more.
Yes.
And yet he's facilitating an American company jumping ship to go to Canada for lower tax rates. And the other thing is, since when has Canada been the place to go to for low taxes?
What
and
does that
growth?
say? They're running to Canada
the
now.
The double take I had to give to that when I
right.
saw that they had, 25.5% as a corporate tax rate.
Well, we're the highest
Yes.
corporate tax rate in the world, are we not, Stuart?
Third highest.
We are.
Third highest.
35% federal, add-on local state,
Right.
and you get to 40%. Canada is offering them 25%. I'd take it.
All right, Stuart Varney, it is always good to have you, sir, and I hope you have a great week.
You too, both. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
Stuart
Stuart.
Varney, Fox Business Channel. You've got to check out Varney and Company. He's always a sound, reasonable man on Fox Business Network weekdays at 11 a.m.